warriors, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different for you. I wanted to give you a deeper understanding of where Tired Girls Club actually comes from, and my journey is obviously a huge part of why I represent the chronic illness community. Be sure to subscribe for all my latest videos and ring the bell so you get a notification. You can join the Tired Girls Club community online at www.tiredgirlsclubuk.com. My story actually spans over 6 years, and as I've said in other videos, I was diagnosed in 2012 with Hashimoto's and hypothyroidism. Up until that point, I had actually steadily grown worse over time. It all started out with bloated stomach, fatigue, 2-stone weight gain, which was gradual, definitely not overnight. And this is what actually propelled me to go and see the GP. First, I was misdiagnosed quite a bit, which is pretty common with chronic illness. I think they tried to give me IBS tablets at one point, which was questionable. I guess the biggest piece of advice for anyone that is listening that's yet to get a diagnosis is listen to yourself, listen to your body. A lot of times the GPs that you see in the initial stages have got a very general knowledge of all sorts of illnesses. So you can lose a lot of time and effort being pushed down routes that probably aren't the right track for you. Eventually my GP did do the correct tests, and she did TSH, T3 and T4. When I got the test results back, she basically said to me, and this is a quote, "I don't actually know how you are functioning with this low level of thyroid." That's what she said to me. I remember my response being sort of like, well, I've had to. Like, life goes on. I was a new mom, I had just started a new career as a trainee dental nurse. I wasn't really in the position to not function, so this is why I'm here. This is why I'm at this appointment. I was immediately put on 75 micrograms of thyroxine with routine annual blood tests. Over the next couple of years, I had bouts of weight fluctuation and fatigue. Generally, everything was pretty stable. Around about this time, I also managed to instill an exercise regime that actually worked for me. I tried all sorts of popular regimes that everybody else seemed to be doing, and they never really worked for me. I really struggled to get through a workout. I don't know if you guys are the same, but that's one of the hardest things about my condition, is managing to do a good, effective workout without actually killing me off. In 2018, I decided to become a vegetarian, which was partly for health reasons. I'd done a lot of research, and partly for animal welfare. I love the little piggies. 2018 was the first time in the last 6 years where I have gone a big stretch of time and actually managed to maintain my weight. And I've never really got to the bottom of why that actually is. I think partly my body didn't process meats all that well. So everything was just fine and dandy and fantastic. And then February of 2019 happened. I started to get a whole new bunch of symptoms that I have never had as an autoimmune patient. I was bleeding between periods, getting stomach aches and pains, extreme fatigue, bloating in my face, and also getting rashes just randomly on my face, on my legs. And the biggest one, which was the reason that I started going to the GP, was blood in my urine, which I have just never experienced. And obviously at first it's quite alarming to see that when you've just been for a piddle. So yeah, me and my husband went through a period of thinking that there was all sorts of stuff going on, and it was quite a stressful time. And this is kind of where Tired Girls Club was born, I suppose. Tired Girls Club for me was born out of the need to represent the chronic illness community, but also to inspire and empower women to find the inner drive and make big changes to their lives. You're gonna find out so much more about me, so I hope that you are along for this journey. The whole ethos of Tired Girls Club is that if you really, really want something, you can have anything that you really desire. And I want women to find that within themselves so they can have the life that they truly deserve. There's a whole lot more to my history than just chronic illness. So in March, I went to my GP, I told them all the symptoms, and obviously the first thing that your GP does as a woman bleeding between your periods is gynecological. Which I do understand. I understand why, but it's tricky when obviously you've done all of your own research, and I'm starting to gain an idea of other things that could be going on in conjunction with my other autoimmune conditions. I accepted my fate that I was going to be poked and prodded down there, and I thought, you know, let's just tick these boxes off so that we've done that bit, and then I can get the bit that I really want to get to. And I thought, okay, maybe it'll take a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, and we'll get to where I need to be at, which in my mind was seeing a specialist. I had a smear test done, I had swabs done, I had a round of blood tests done, testing this, that and the other. I had my thyroid function test, just in case, even though I knew that that was not the problem. That came back clear. I was referred for an ultrasound. They scanned my womb and my ovaries. And then finally, after 3 months, they took a urine sample and referred me for ultrasound of my kidneys and liver. I had applied to Lupus UK to get their booklet, and I started to keep a diary of all of my symptoms from February right up until this point, which would have been June time. I went back into my GP with all of this evidence and said, look, hey, I think that I have lupus. I want to be tested. She said yes. And I was like, I have struck gold. Finally, I'm gonna be referred. I'm gonna see somebody. And the referral was sent. And I wait, and I wait, and I wait. And then I get this letter through from the hospital, which basically says, sorry, we cannot offer you an appointment with the rheumatology department at this time. Do not contact us. We will contact you. And that was it. Like, what? The thing is, I could accept it if they told me they'd put me on a waiting list. That's fine. Waiting lists I can do. How long is a piece of string when you're telling me there isn't anything? And this is the state of the NHS at the moment, which is why if you follow my blog, you will find there was a recent post about cervical cancer smears. You should go check it out. So that is my overall experience so far from 2012 right up until this day today. I still have absolutely no idea what is going on. It could be next year before I get an appointment to see a specialist, which would mean I'd have been waiting almost 12 months. Existing without any diagnosis is actually really, really difficult for people because you've got no way of explaining to anyone what's going on and no real understanding of what's happening to yourself. So if you are living as misdiagnosed or undiagnosed, then please leave me a comment below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Equally, if you have a chronic illness story to share, please do share it with the rest of the community down below in the comments, and be certain to join my blog where you can become part of the Tired Girls Club community.